G'day guys, if you were watching my last video of the South Coast trip, you would have seen that I was bottoming out a lot. I've got special order coils coming for the rear, but as far as the front's concerned, I've already got the biggest coils I can get in there, so I've just had my spacers arrive. They're not too bad. I'll give you a gaze. So they're nothing flash, they're a poly spacer block with a metal sleeve insert inside. So pretty much I'm going to do a video of fitting these today on top of my pre-existing lift kit, and I'm going to be removing the rear struts and coils ready for them to be installed while I go back up north to work. So yeah, so I'm going to start on the front first, obviously, because that has the most work involved in it. Obviously just jack it up, get it on stands. Good practice to crack your wheel nuts before you jack your car up in the air, just make life easy. And yeah. Alright, so they're actually pretty simple on these, you don't need too much tooling wise. 18mm nut for your steering arm, 21mm and 24mm socket for your lower strut bolt, and a 15mm for your 3 upper mounting bolts for the strut. Alright, so I actually made a liar out of myself there. You don't need to take the steering arm off. You might need to with air struts, just because they're a bit wider than the coils. They might hit on the lower control arm as you try to squeeze them out. But yeah, all I had to do was the 3 bolts up the top, 1 bolt down the bottom, and actually popped. What I will do though is just, for those of you that haven't freed up a knuckle before, I'll just show you how to do that quickly. Alright, so if you don't have the knuckle tool and you need to get the steering arm out, all I do is I just hold a bit of weight and put the lever bar under the CV and onto the steering arm, and then you just got a shock load knuckle. And she's all free. So I'm just going to put that back on because I actually didn't need to pull it off. Yeah, simple as that. Alright, so obviously struts on the floor. To put your spacers on, it's pretty simple. Obviously, most importantly, we need to compress the coil first. Then once you compress the coil, you got to pull your top hat off, because you actually need to change these studs for longer ones, and then bolt the spacer to that. So I'm going to show you compressing the coil now and putting the spacer on. Right, so pretty much you just do it until the coil moves freely inside the housing. So come up with the coil, it means there's no pressure on it. For those of you interested in the King's heavy duty 100 kilo constant coils for the fronts, that's your part number there. Obviously I've got a bull bar, winch and a lot of weight on this car, so I'm not happy with the clearance that it gives me. What I'm going to do now is pull the top hat off. I'm sure there's a more professional way of doing it, but I just hold the actual shaft with vice grips. My spanners never seem to be up to the task. All my good stuff's up on site, so I'll just rep Stanley and whatever else is on special when I'm at home. So you just got to hold it, crack it off. It's nice and easy. Alright, so retaining bolt and washer is off, and then just got to get the space off. Sometimes they're pretty, mine always seem to be well and truly stuck onto the coil, so sometimes just got to it up a touch. Alright, so you're going to pull your rubber out, and then there's your studs there, so that's what we're replacing. Best way to do that is with, drop a socket underneath, and just give it a whack. Just like that, you've got all three out. Now time to hit the three new ones in. So to hit the new ones in is pretty much just the same thing but in reverse. So they're all in now. Just going to bolt that straight back up to the top hat. What I forgot to mention was paint pen the location of your top hat in regards to the lower strut mount, so that you can line it all up again. I forgot to do that, so I'm going to play the guessing game. Might actually be able to go back through videos and have a look. So that's that one back on. I just had to compress that coil a little bit more. For some reason I couldn't get the top hat back on, so she's all good now. Ready to go in, hopefully. I had a look at the car, I think that's pretty spot on, so we'll, fingers crossed I've lined it up properly. Alright, let's see how easy this goes in with the extra 40mm in there. It just drops in. Confident that it will do. This on time lapse. Alright, I'm going to pull the sway bar out of the way. Strut sitting on that at the moment. Alright, sway bar is still giving me dramas, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go unbolt it off the other side so that I can fold it out of the way to get the clearance. I won't bother showing you that. Oh no, I will. Alright, so as you can see, as I try to put the coil in, basically it's hitting on my sway bar arm. So I've removed the linkage, so it's wobbling around there. I'm going to do the same on the other side so that I can swing this up and out of the way. So I just pulled that linkage off the other side, so now all I do is you can just literally get that sway bar right out of the way. So I should have, fingers crossed, plenty of room to get this where it should be. There we go. Right, so the top bolts are in. Just got to get the, they're not fully tightened yet. I've left them just a touch loose so that I can leave the shock around a bit to line the hole up. Yeah, fingers crossed we can get this in easy. Oh, she tight. Got that bolt in now, so I'm going to go back up to the top again and tighten those 3 top mounting bolts up entirely, and then I will, the bottom bolt you don't actually do up until it's on the floor and you got the full body weight of the car on there. It helps prolong the life of your lower bush. Hi guys, it's morning time. Slept like a baby. Feel great. Just going to move my trailer out of the way, spin my car around, and we'll get into the rear quickly. So I won't actually be putting the rear back together. I'm going to be getting the missus to drop it off at a tyre shop to change the coils when they do come in. Ready for my next trip, which is Bremer Bay. So yeah. Alright, so obviously goes up and stands, wheels off. Didn't do a very good job of cleaning it after my last camping trip. It's a bit disappointing, but essentially same as the front. Looks like just the lower bottom bolt, which is a 21 and 24 mil, and the 3 top, which is 315 mil nuts. I've always been taking these, or the rear stabilizer arms, I've always been pulling them off, but it turns out you don't need to. I'm seeing a bit of grease kicking around though. I think, well there you go. Be another video for you guys. I've got a split CV boot, so I'll be doing that before I go next break. Yeah, that's easier. Right, so I'm not going to record the other side because it's the same deal. Basically, I'm going to take this coil off exactly the same as I did with the front. Just compress it, but I'm actually going to swap the coil out with a 600 kilo constant. So at the moment these are the King's 400 kilo constants, which they're not too bad, but when I load up for camping, yeah, they're just not good enough, especially if I put my trailer on the ass. With that on the ass end of it, my car sags real bad, so I'm going the special order 600 kilo constants from Dobinson's. They've taken 3 months to get here so far. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'm going to drop my struts off to totally independent tyres, get them to change the coils when they arrive, and then hopefully when I come home I can just drop them straight back in, get my wheel alignment done, and head straight out to Bremer Bay. Should be good. Hello, back from up north. As you can see, Disco 2 is still not ready. The coils didn't arrive, so 4 months. I've been promised tomorrow that they'll be here, so fingers crossed, because at the moment I've got no wheels to be driving around in. I'm homebound. That's not good. Also, going to be doing a video soon on my camper trailer. Built it myself. Put a fair amount of hours into this thing. Pretty much just upgrading. I want to get like a little pop top caravan or forward fold camper trailer, so that the dogs can fit in there a bit easier. Here they are. Come here. Hello. That one. Then we got Sausage, so that these poopers can come camping with us.